Well, hello there again. It is September 2nd, 2022, in the year of our Lord, and I'm going to talk about the issues with the transmission on this vehicle and other little stuff. Changed the transmission oil yesterday, and right after this little rant, you will hear me, you will have a driving video. I tried to get it up to 140, but couldn't because of the road. But anyway, you'll see the driving video after this little rant. But just a little update on this vehicle. Against this beautiful backdrop, the mountains, green fields, look at that Arizona beauty. All right, so I need to bring up some points on how to attack this transmission heat issue that plagues this vehicle. There are several ways, there are several videos on YouTube that shows you how to do it, but they're not very comprehensive. It's pretty, I was looking at it today, and I'll show you some pictures after this rant of the vehicle underside and the front up there. But well, I was thinking, okay, why would General Motors Pontiac put a shitty transmission not able to withstand the horsepower of this V8? You know, why would they do that? In the last video I said that, well, it could have been budgetary issues or time constraints, you know, to put out an all-new transmission. But, you know, there's the 4T80E. I mean, sure, they got transmissions that'll, well, I don't know, this is a front wheel drive vehicle, so you have a special vehicle here that has a V8 in it with front wheel drive, so I don't think their transmission choices are that plentiful. But I brought the transmission cooler, as you've seen on the last video, but I'm starting to rethink this. Like, wait a minute here, let's think about this logically. Okay, you have a transmission that heats up to, you know, when I drive it, remember, this is out in the freaking day. It was 110 degrees today, and I just changed the transmission oil yesterday, and you'll see I broke it in today with a good high-speed run. It got up to about 206, and as I was driving, it actually went down to 200 and actually 198. So that was good news there. So anyway, thinking about this logically, let's think about this. Okay, so they put an inadequate transmission mated with a big V8 engine in this vehicle. The main issues throughout the years of this vehicle has been transmission overheating, and because of that issue, you know, maybe people just weren't aware of what they could do to remedy the situation. But if you let that go on and on over 100,000 miles, 150,000 miles, or even, you know, your transmission is just going to go to hell, right? Because too much heat you know, they're not made to withstand that much heat over a long period of time. This vehicle, like I said, has 70,600 miles or whatever on it. I'll take a look here. 70,816 miles right now. See that? So I was thinking, like, okay, could General Motors have been thinking, remember, this has, I mean, there's active fuel management, which reduces the 8 cylinders to 4 cylinders depending on your driving conditions, like, you know, in the city, or I think it only happens on the freeways when you're driving, you know, over 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, that active fuel management kicks into 4 cylinders, because driving around in the city in this vehicle, it's fucking shitty, pardon my language, fuel mileage. It's like 13.8 miles per gallon. I mean, that is really bad. But today I had to go get some auto parts. Took a good drive down the freeway, and it went all the way up to almost 19 miles per gallon. So maybe the active fuel management, you know, activates the 4 cylinders when you're on the freeway mostly, and not on city driving, I guess. But anyway, so that, I mean, if you think about it, with the transmission heat issue, wouldn't that system cause your transmission heat to add more heat to it during the drive time when it's cycling through 8 and 4 cylinders, and especially 4 cylinders, you know, with the vehicle size, this size and weight, and then back to 8 cylinders, you know, cycling on and off. I don't know how it, you know, how much it cycles. I don't feel anything when I'm driving it. It's a quiet process, apparently. But I mean, that has to have a lot of something to do with the transmission heat issue, along with, if you think about it, I mean, if you just think about this logically, why does this transmission heat up like it does? Okay, that's one issue that I think could be causing it. And the second one is the cooling system itself. Okay, think about it again. You have a cooling system that, again, is supposed to cool a 8-cylinder engine. So could it be that this radiator down in here is just not adequate enough, along with the transmission, for this V8? I mean, you do have twin fans there that both of them work on this vehicle. But I was thinking, okay, so its job is to cool the transmission oil through the lines that go through that radiator. I don't know if it has a transmission cooler. I doubt it. Maybe it's built into the radiator. I have no idea. I'm not a mechanic. But obviously it's not doing its job of cooling the transmission oil properly. And that could be just the radiator is just not up to task, you know? Maybe it's not needing a transmission cooler. Maybe it just needs a damn better radiator. So, I mean, you know, that's just one of my issues that I'm pondering before I install the transmission cooler. And I was looking, I'll show you the pictures up front here underneath. There's a very easy way to do this. I mean, it's going to take one person probably a good 6-7 hours to complete. But I mean, it's doable. It's nothing to be afraid of. Just got to put your mind to it, use your head, go slowly, and I'm going to do it. I mean, I just got to have a full day to plan it out and do it. Look at this beautiful car. Look at that. Look at that. But anyway, going back to the transmission heat issue. So you have the active fuel management and probably an inadequate radiator that could potentially be causing this heat issue and not the transmission itself. I mean, that's just I'm trying to brainstorm this, why General Motors would put a lot of money and, you know, research and development into making this car and put shitty ass transmission mated with a nice V8 LS4 engine. And I think it has a lot to do, actually more than the active fuel management, with the radiator cooling system itself. So as you know, any vehicle, the radiator is not going to last forever. So I mean, that's just another way of dealing with the transmission heat issue in this vehicle, is just put a better, more heavy duty radiator, you know, top of the line, better radiator that'll cool the transmission oil lines, you know. It's got 2 fans up there, you know, you've seen those. Also, I mean, when I did my transmission oil change yesterday at Jiffy Lube, I thought they were going to change the oil filter. They did not. They just pumped the stuff out and replaced it, which they told me, you know, that they don't do that. But they told me that after the fact. I thought they were going to do it before they, you know, that was part of the deal, that they were going to change the transmission filter also. But they said no, they just replaced the oil. But remember, this only has 70,000 miles, so I don't think it's necessary to change the transmission filter with this low of miles. And I'll probably do that at 100,000 miles, change the transmission oil again along with the filter. So, oh, speaking of the oil, so there's also a lot of very good transmission oils that can withstand high temperatures and keep the transmission lubricated like it should, and not overheat, you know. So the oils are designed to withstand high temperatures and still keep your transmission functioning like if it was just 180 degrees as compared to 210 degrees. You got Redline transmission oil. These things cost like $18 a quart. And I was thinking of putting that stuff in, and now that I find out that the Jiffy Lube, they just sucked all the oil out and replaced it. I wish I would have had, you know, bought that oil and put it in there. But I mean, the synthetics that they put in today's 2022, it's more advanced, more heat tolerant than oils were, you know, whenever this 2008, you know, 14 years ago. So that, I mean, again, transmission heating, to me, it's more complex than just a shitty transmission. It's you know, the cooling system is involved, the active fuel management is involved, and I'm also going to put everything I'm talking about again. There's going to be links down below in the description box. You know, the active fuel management to disengage it. So all this stuff I'm going to put in the links. Whoever has a vehicle out there, and there's several guys who have these cars who put good material out there you know, as far as how to fix stuff. So, but anyway, that's just what I was thinking about, is like, it's more complex than just the transmission. It could be, quite honestly, that there's absolutely nothing wrong with this transmission. It's just the freaking active fuel management, you know, going from 8 cylinders to 4 cylinders, and the inadequate cooling system with the radiator. I mean, and again, you can also get high performance coolant, just like you can get high performance transmission oil, and maybe those two things alone would solve the issue on these vehicles. But I don't know, I'm just thinking about that. And yeah, I mean, I'll have a quick video where I wanted to get it up, you know, as 100 and whatever 53 miles that this car, you know, supposedly cuts off at it, you know. But I also didn't want to, you know, not being familiar how this car is going to respond to high speeds, I didn't go all the way. But you'll see that in the video, driving videos. So anyway, that's what I got today. And also, next, if I make another video, I'm going to tell you about this freaking OnStar system. Yes, there's videos on how to, you know, disable it and all this, right down over there. And by the way, this, I'm gonna have to replace the brake pads, front brake pads on this vehicle. They're rubbing. You can hear the metal to metal noise. So you have to do that. Is it turning into a money pit? Well, when you buy a used vehicle, there's a certain amount of money or things that you just have to do. You have to replace all your damn fluids. You might have to get a new battery. Your brakes, you might need to change the pads. Tires, you might need to change. There's a lot of shit in buying a used car, you know, and everybody knows that. You think you're gonna buy a used car and not have any repairs or money to put into it afterward, you're crazy. But anyway, that's what I was thinking about today, is the engine heat issue. Let me go check real quick. It says 185, so that's not too bad. I'm sitting here idling in the air conditioner, and I am going to close this sunroof. Leave that open. But anyway, so I'm going to be making a video, another video pretty soon, when I open up the bottom of this vehicle, the bottom front of this vehicle. I was looking at it. You'll see in the pictures how easy it is to take off and put a transmission cooler in there. So anyway, that's the rant. Remember, I would love to talk about things political, but YouTube is such a fucking shit system. They don't let you say what you want to say, because there is a lot I could tell you, and most of you probably agree with me, but you're not allowed to tell the truth. You're not allowed to share your thoughts. Your thoughts must be controlled by YouTube, the controllers. But thank God for Rumble and BitChute. Anyway, so yeah. But anyway, so I can say this: the leadership class we have running this country is running it into the fucking ground on purpose. There is no doubt about that. There should be no doubt in your mind about that. If you start thinking about things logically and compare them to how things were 2 years ago and today, we are so screwed. But anyway, I'm going to shut up about politics. I'll say maybe I should open up my own Rumble channel and BitChute or whatever. Anyway, here's the driving videos. It is September 2nd, 2022, the year of our Lord. I'm doing some test runs out here, the old Grand Prix. And for right now, just looking at the road to make sure there's no debris debris or anything in there. Give it some few runs. Let's take a look. Temperature, transmission is kind of high right now, but it's I just changed the transmission fluid yesterday. So you could say I'm breaking it in. We'll see. We will see. Road looks to be in pretty good condition. Kind of see a vehicle behind me way back, but we'll see. I'll let the engine cool off a bit. Beautiful morning here out in the desert. September 2nd, 2022, in the year of our Lord. Look at that beauty. All right. AC off. Roll into it.